Ben, the floor is yours. Welcome, Mrs. Lobillo.
Thank you.
Hi.
Welcome, Christina. I was saying a word about how energy and the Green Deal has been a priority for the new European Commission. And so I wanted to ask you about this. What are the key priorities related to energy for the Commission? I know you've prepared some remarks to give us a sense of where the von der Leyen Commission is headed.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for your introduction. And dear members of the American Chamber of Commerce and dear guests, thank you very much on behalf of Commissioner Kadri Simpson for this invitation and for giving us the opportunity to present some of the most recent policy initiatives of the European Commission that are the base of our energy vision for the European Union. In order to put this vision into context, allow me a few moments to describe the European Commission views for the EU energy sector, and also the generational challenge that we face in the process to decarbonize our economy. In December last year, the new Commission, President is Ursula von der Leyen, presented the priority of the European Green Deal. And this is a transformative agenda to combine different policies to tackle climate change. The purpose is also to reverse biodiversity loss and to eliminate pollution by moving to a more circular economy. The supply of clean, affordable, and secure energy is at the heart of this agenda. But the Green Deal is more than that. It's also the Europe New Growth Strategy, a strategy where environmental, economic, and social sustainability go hand in hand. The post-COVID-19 economy recovery and also the transition to a sustainable, socially fair, resilient, and climate-neutral economy can and should go hand in hand. The massive investment needed to kickstart our economies must relieve the burden from the shoulder, not to make it heavier. And this is why our recovery plans in the European Union should be designed as a once-in-a-generation opportunity to build back better and invest in an economy of the 21st century. The European Union has strongly reconfirmed the commitment to a green, digital, and resilient recovery, strongly embedded such criteria in all the proposals that we are preparing now to make this investment doable. Our green economy recovery agenda is driven by specific evidence and economic logic. The European Green Deal and the digital transformation are a growth model for a more sustainable, inclusive, resilient, and future-proof economy and the reinvigorated single market within the European Union. Allow me to focus on the three main points today. The first one is the impact that the COVID-19 has in the energy sector. The second is our European Union recovery plan. It has strong links also with the energy sector. And thirdly, I will mention very briefly all the different energy initiatives that the European Commission has recently adopted, and also all the initiatives that we are now preparing for being adopted in the next months. So allow me to start by the COVID-19 and all the effects that this pandemic has had in our economy and in particular in the energy sector. Our society and the economy need stable and secure energy at all times. But the current pandemic is a clear reminder of how vital the reliable access to energy is for citizens and business, hospitals, and other essential services. The whole world has been affected by COVID-19 virus, with nearly all countries implementing lockdown and quarantine measures. And this has led to a reduction in the energy consumption. The European Commission and the Member State, the European Union, the authorities, we have been working together to monitor the evolution of the situation and in permanent contact with energy services operators and the relevant stakeholders. This refers not only to ensuring the security of our energy supply, but also to assess the impact of the crisis in the medium and long terms. During the COVID-19 crisis, the energy system in Europe has proven to be resilient thanks to the well-functioning internal energy market and the robust preparedness and business continuity measures in the sector. Nevertheless, it's important to remain vigilant and to respond timely to the evolving situation. This includes returning to normal operation and catering for an increased energy demand. Preserving the free movement of specialized energy workers and keeping essential transport flows prove also to be one of the priorities to keep the internal market efficient. Attention is also needed on the functioning of the critical supply chains to carry out works and repairs on production facility, including the renewable sector, the transmission lines, and many others. In the Commission, we took action to address these aspects. In particular, we published a list of guidance and good practices to address the pandemic risk in the energy sector. And we also launched a map of critical supply chains for energy technologies, supporting the clean energy transition, and to identify all the measures for improving their resilience against the pandemic and other potential threats. Let me now turn into the economic recovery, the plan for the recovery of our economy. This plan was agreed by the European Council, by our leaders in July, and this plan aims at stimulating the economic recovery across the European Union to respond to the current crisis, and this recovery has to be underpinned by three main drivers, which are the Green Deal, the digitalization, and the resilience. The Next Generation EU Recovery Plan is an unprecedented answer to an unprecedented crisis. This is a defining moment, not just for us, but for the generations to come. The energy policy, and in particular the clean energy, is a cornerstone of the recovery plan. While the financing instrument for the recovery are mostly horizontal, energy investment within the framework of the key upcoming energy initiatives can be supported by various sources. For the recovery package, the European Council has decided that 30% of all the amount will be earmarked for delivering the climate goals of the Green Deal. And all the investment will need also the investment done under the Next EU Generation will have to be done by respecting the principle of do not harm. Energy investment and the reforms can have also substantial positive contribution to the recovery. And here there is a big potential of job creation, and in particular in areas where we will be closer to citizens, to the local administration, such as energy efficiency and the building renovation, and others that could be of bigger dimensions, such investment in grids and renewables. let's say that this new EU generation facility aim also to allow member states to support investment and reforms, but including all the investment that have an angle on the energy transition, on the green transition. And here we could cover energy sector, but of course also transport, agriculture, and many other sectors. We have a key initiative in this context as well that I want to mention, because it's also fundamental for the European Union. This initiative is the Just Transition Fund, which under the proposal will have now 40 billion and will help to facilitate the transition to those regions in the European Union that are still very dependent of coal and are somehow carbon intensive regions where transition will mean a big challenge for them. So we are also proposing also to strengthen the Invest EU facility, rather to support the private investment. And I think that this is a very, very interesting framework that will help the recovery of the economy by both ensuring that this recovery will be sustainable, but we cannot forget that we are engaging the future generations. So we are talking about 750 billion that will be borrowed for the capital markets and will have to be paid by future generations. So this is the reason why we cannot pay twice. We had to invest this money in the new, clean, modern technologies, in green transition, in order to allow also the next generation to be fully profiting the benefits of the green transition. We have also a part of the economic framework. We have also foreseen some initiatives that we have already adopted in the European Commission, the College of Commissioners. Some of this initiative has already been adopted. And I want here to mention our communication on hydrogen, the hydrogen as a new technology that could be also boosted in the future, the small sector integration. And we are now preparing a new initiative that our Commissioner, Kadri Simpson, will present to the college, to the commissioner for adoption. And we are working on a very interesting initiative, which is the renovation wave. And it's about renovating buildings in the European Union. You may know that 70% of our buildings are not efficient from the energy point of view. So we are trying to propose measures to accelerate all these changes that had to be produced in the following years. We are also working in a very interesting initiative that is the offshore strategy, the offshore wind strategy in the renewable sector. And I think that this really responds to the philosophy that we really need to have to boost the production, the consumption of the renewable energies in the European Union, and also the need also to make our citizens aware of the benefit that this this energy transition could have also on the day-to-day life, because they could have even consequences in the quality of the air and on many other aspects. Allow me to focus a little bit on the two initiatives that has been already adopted, and I briefly mentioned the hydrogen and the energy system integration. And here I think it's important to give you some information. Is that energy, as you know, is responsible for 75% of greenhouse gas emission. And if we want to achieve climate neutrality, that has also been endorsed by our political leaders. So this climate neutrality, we have the commitment in the European Union to achieve this climate neutrality by 2050. So we need to rethink the way that our energy system work. So here, we see that today our energy system still built on several parallel and vertical energy value chains. And let's say that this model of separate silos cannot deliver a climate neutral economy because it's technically and economically inefficient and leads sometimes to substantial losses in the form of waste, heat, and also low energy efficiency. So the energy system integration is a coordinated planning and operation of the energy system as a whole across multiple energy carriers, infrastructure, and consumption. This is rather a new conception on how the energy will have to be produced and consumed. And this approach, we are fully convinced that could deliver a more effective, affordable, and deeper decarbonization in the European economy. Same happened with the hydrogen strategy. That is also, this strategy underlines how to upscale the demand and supply of renewable hydrogen, how to mobilize member states and the deployment of this source and industry, how to advance also in the regulatory framework, and how to strengthen the research agenda, in definitive, how to support stronger international cooperation. So this is somehow the framework of initiative that we once have been already adopted, other under the preparation. But I want to conclude by giving some thought about an important package that is planned to be adopted by the College of Commissioners the next week. It is so-called Climate Target Plan. As you know, we have today in the European Union very ambitious target when it comes to both the reduction of greenhouse gas emission, energy efficiency, renewables. So we have already an ambitious, let's say, framework for 2030. But now the College of Commissioners is also reflecting, as President von der Leyen announced at the beginning of her mandate in the European Parliament, that the European Union has to show more ambition and to increase this target. So she announced that this target that is today 40%, the college should consider whether it could be increased to 50 or even 55 in a responsible way. So this package, this percentage will be announced next week by the College of Commissioners once they decide on it, and we'll also introduce the different policy options that could be proposed, could be put on the table, just to achieve this higher target. I think that's very important that this initiative will be underpinned by a thorough impact assessment that has been done by the Commission services. And here we have analyzed all the aspects, both environmental and economic, but also the social, the distributional effect that all the different policy choices could have. In the Commission, you know that when we present a proposal, we always do very wide public consultation, and we also make sure that the targets are also, the legislation, the regulatory framework is also accompanied by the rights, the appropriate enablers, the appropriate financial instruments that are needed just to achieve or to make these targets happen. I stop here because I think I don't want to be longer than the 20 minutes that I had foreseen in this speech. I'm very happy again to have been invited on behalf of my commissioner, and I wish you also the success for this event. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and you really gave us, I think, a comprehensive introduction to the Commission's strategy on the Green Deal and energy post-COVID. I think it's particularly interesting what you said about the historic recovery package that was adopted by the European Council this summer, and the 3 pillars on the Green Deal: digitalization and resilience, and the concrete projects that will come out of this. I want to ask you more specifically, because we're talking to the Chamber of Commerce, obviously, what is the role that you foresee for the private sector in this respect?
Well, indeed, I think that as we are talking about a very ambitious project, we of course we count with all the stakeholders, the business. I want to indicate maybe two different elements. The first one is that in this new generation EU, there is one specific instrument that is focused on private investment in the context of the Invest EU. So here, this is a specific instrument for that. But when it comes to I mentioned the figure, the new generation EU account for 750 billion that will have to be spent in 3 years' time. And here I see huge opportunities for stakeholders that can benefit for all the projects that, as I mentioned, an important part of it will have to be spent in Green Deal. And Green Deal, at the end of the day, is energy, because let's say energy means 75% of greenhouse gas emission. And I see huge opportunities for the businesses. I see on renewables, on energy efficiency, but also new technologies, And here I think that we need to work together, both the administration and the business sector, on how to make projects with the maturity that they need to receive the finance that is now foreseen in the framework, in the financial framework.
And I want to ask you one last question, and then I think we'll be out of time. What are the opportunities, especially you see for the region? We're talking to mostly a Greek audience. I'd love to hear your perspective specifically for Greece, but also the region.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, you have raised one fundamental point for us, because it's true that when we talk about climate neutrality, and it's true that not everybody is ready for reaching this ambition. And in the European Commission, we have the strong commitment not to leave not to lag any region behind. We understand that we have many regions in the European Union that still depends not only on coal, but the region that have strong industry on the car manufacturers. So we understand that all this region will need to also to do the transformation to electric cars, to more renewable energies. So here I mentioned one instrument that I think that is one of the most important, let's say, highlights of the budget of the European Union. That is the Just Transition Mechanism, and here there is money that will be used to help this region that will have more difficulties to catch the train of the energy transition. But believe me, but this is one point that is fundamental for us. We think that the energy transition is for everybody, and we need to ensure that we have all the means that in order to all European citizens, in whatever region they are, they could benefit of the energy transition.
All right. Well, the energy transition is for everybody. I think that's a good way to conclude this conversation. Cristina, LOBILLO, thank you so much for joining us. And Elias, back at you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. LOBILLO. I think you provide us a very thorough, let's say, view of the new Green Deal of Europe, which is very essential. And also regarding Greece, as you know, the government has taken too many steps for let's say following some of the directives, and also well in advance, I would say, from other countries, considering the past of Greece in the energy sector. So thank you both.